この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Vinland Saga episode 23. We are on the penultimate episode of this run of Vinland Saga, which is pretty crazy. It's been kind of a mainstay every Sunday, coming out, being consistently good, consistently interesting, with consistently great character development and pretty solid production every Sunday for 23, now going on 24 weeks. It's been awesome. Last week we had an episode that was no exception. It was somber, it was serious, and it consisted mostly of story time with Papa Ashalad, post an absolute smackdown, which I would call more of a spanking of this petty child Thorfinn, and a pretty precise, pretty conclusive explanation of exactly what you're doing wrong and why this sort of half-baked childish revenge plot that you've cooked up is never going to work. You don't have the schemingness for it, and you're trying to mix this craving for revenge with a weird twisted sense of honor and needing to duel somebody in order to make it happen. That just doesn't, it's not functional. It was pretty incredible, and as an indictment of Thorfinn's character thus far and his whole mode of being. It's more than just his character or just his motivations. It's everything that he's been or done or said or worked toward for his entire adolescence. This is everything that he is, and it was just laid out for him and then shown piece by piece why every part of it is wrong or destined to fail. I don't know how he's gonna take this. We left Thorfinn screaming in the snow out into the endless void, just yelling pain and grief and anguish into the abyss. I don't know how he's gonna take this. I don't think it's going to sink in for a little while. I don't know if it can. Again, it's everything that he's been. You don't confront that much of yourself and your like identification of self without breaking. And I think this is sort of a turning point for Thorfinn, but it'll take a while to turn. Somebody on not even on my Discord, but on the Semblance of Sanity Discord, threw out like an open question after last week's episode, and I was just in the chat. They asked, like, what do you want for Thorfinn? What do you think is the thing that can happen to him? And my answer is this, and I'll tell it to you because I think it's a good answer, and I don't know. Maybe an important thing to have in mind going forward is I want Thorfinn to shatter. And I don't mean that in a cruel way. I mean, once again, that everything that he is, everything that he has built himself to be, is going down a path that is a dead end. It is not going to work. And so I want him to shatter, to gain some semblance of insight and self-awareness, and to fall the fuck apart. And it will hurt. It will not be easy if this is the way that this goes. And I hope that it's the way that it goes, because it would make for such a good story. He will have to tear apart himself and shed everything that he identifies with, everything that he wants, everything that he is, if he ever has any hope of understanding the final words of his father, or understanding what his father's purpose in life was, and understanding how he can exist. I want him to break. I want for that scene where he's walking alone in the snow, bleeding out, to come to fruition, and I want him to find some kind of simplicity, some kind of purpose through calm, simple work. I don't know what that would look like. I think the closest that we've come to it, the closest we came to a moment where Thorfinn could have been redeemed or could have been saved, was that moment with the older woman who brushed his hair, and he let that go. And he instead chose to throw himself once again into these somewhat fairy tale dreams of a faraway land where everything is peaceful and bright and beautiful and wonderful, and the equally fairy tale-y dreams of getting revenge on the man who killed his father. I want him to find simplicity, to work as like a blacksmith or making horseshoes or serving people at a bar or like cleaning dishes, something stupid and simple that he doesn't need to think about very much, so that he can just sit and realize that there is a world outside of the war that's been like his own for so long. He's been so steeped in conflict that it's going to take time and work and simplicity to wash away any if any of that grime from him, from his core, from his being. I don't know if that's where we're going with this story. That's kind of where I hope that this goes, because I think that there's an importance in that. And I've said it before on this channel and I'll say it again. I think that there is power in simplistic purpose, in repetitive work, in doing something that produces value, even if it's small value, in being a functioning member of society that isn't just purely destructive. And I hope that's where we go for Thorfinn, because it's the only path I see for him. Now on the other front, there's a whole other story still unfolding, and we've taken a bit of a break from it to allow for this conflict and for this moment for Ashalad to really shine and really tell us who he is and who he's been and how he thinks of himself, and to really get to know his self-loathing and his self-identification as just a Viking. Something that I reacted to maybe in a way that you didn't expect, because I came at him like, no, you're not. You're more than that. Because I think that recognizing what you are, or recognizing that maybe you've become the thing that you hate, is the thing that enables you to overcome it and to be more than it. And I think that Ashalat is there, but he's also giving into it. He's just a wonderfully complex character. Beyond that, there are schemes and plots afoot. Thorfinn currently plays a role in those schemes and plots. We'll see whether he continues to play that role or if he just disappears out into the void. Canute is on the rise, for certain. Svein is scheming and plotting and stuff. Gunnar is running information between the factions. There's all sorts of stuff going on, and all sorts of stuff that can happen and that can be the focus of this episode. I don't necessarily expect that we're going to be super Thorfinn focused here at the moment. I think that those in-universe conflicts are more pressing. But I'd like some indication that he's stewing on what he's just experienced and the beatdown that he just received, because man, it was amazing, and I hope that it's got lasting ramifications, that he doesn't just snap back into edgy boy mode. I don't see how he can. There's so much effort put into this moment for potential change for him that I really hope that it happens, but we'll see. In any case, this little intro thing went on and became a big intro thing, and I said maybe more than I wanted to, but that's okay. I do that. Let's go ahead and watch this episode 23 of Vinland Saga, and we'll see if any of this seems to line up or what. So, I've got the episode up and ready to go. It's at 0 seconds. There will be two versions of this reaction video. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there, linked in the description down there, and a timer-based version up on YouTube. The timer-based version will have discussion at the end and beginning, but you probably already knew that if you're hearing me say this. So stick around for that if you want it, and mix and match the two versions to get whatever content you want. If you want to sync up your own copy of this episode with the timer-based version, you're welcome to do so. Just get your copy ready, because the beep beep timer to count you down will be coming at you now. We're recording. Yeah, we're good. So, where do we begin? We start with the OP. Okay. There's usually a little blurby thing at the beginning, isn't there? Pretty sure. Don't know what that'll indicate about the episode itself. One cohesive story? I don't know. Rip Bjorn. This scene. Alone, broken. Heading towards civilization. That's what I want. Wow, that's so pretty. Holy shit. Day of the Imperial. I just saw Day of the Imperial. I missed the last word. I think it was Council. I'm not sure. Miscalculation. By whom? Who dat? It's just all noble peoples. Who dat? Broken boy. Yeah. So here we are. Funk. Hmm. Hmm. Whisper, 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 whisper. Hmm. On one front, absolutely. No. But he knows how to weed whack. Nah. He knows how to govern. Or at least how to scheme and plot. Hello. Weight of the crown. Hi. Hi, Floki. Mr. Thwomp. Oh, fuck. He's so tall. Hi, Gunnar. Yeah. Hmm. What a very tense, very quiet sequence. Lots of focus on small things. Oh, hi. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Continuing to chase after it. But it's not even there. Oh. Shit. Apathy. You're gonna get yourself killed, buddy. Oh, still got it. Oh, that jiggle. Nope. Shit. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure. Oh yeah, so glad to have you back. Oh boy. Oh. Playing the part. Playing the part. Yeah, whatever. It's quite a bone. Yeah, it's a very good public play. Right. Cool. Cool. Okay. Good luck. Ooh. All right, Keikaku Dori. I believe it. This is just a square. Hold your cards close, bud. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where's this going? To whom are you referring? Oh. will Ashalot fight his own people? The ones he really identifies with? Oh boy. Yeah. That's shock. Wow, that was cool. 3 separately drawn frames. More and more detail on each. Leaf? Leaf. Hey, Erickson. What's up, Baldy? Now you gonna show some gratitude? Some happiness to see me? Come on, bud. Can't wallow forever. Though I understand why you'd want to. Sit down with ya. Just start talking. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just ignore anything that he says back to you and just keep talking at him. Wow, whoever animated this knows what they're doing. Super expressive. Oh. Oh. A beautiful time. Wow. A cold hell. Keep walking, Thorfinn. For the first time in the episode, we really bring the music in. Sea is a metaphor for reality. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. What a sequence. Hmm. Hmm. Nice catch, Floki. Big man gotta eat big food. Aw, gross. He didn't. Now he does. No, just a happy coincidence. Right, but not anymore. Wow, all of these brow shots. These ultra close-ups straight into the mind of Ashalad. Risky. Super risky. Huh. There's no way around this. You're on the sea, buddy. Is this the first time we've really seen Ashalad stumped? Think so. Wow, you finally think about it, don't you? Oh, never mind. Is that... No, there's still plenty left. The fairy tale. The fairy tale. The dream. A wonderful dream. That's a really good question. Sometimes Thorkel is pretty damn perceptive. Yeah. Wow, that's so pretty. Yeah. I don't know, bud. Fuck, what an episode. That was so good. That was so good. Fantastic blend of like melancholy and near despair and this silent tension throughout the first half, building into this like swelling message from Leaf, just like this desperate plea to try to bring Thorfinn back. Then transitioning into the tension for Ashalad and like discovering about the whales thing and the whole plot that he has to go along with now. Wow. And some of the background. Oh. This was an episode. Oh, and the expressiveness of all the characters throughout so many of the scenes. Fuck, this was good. This was so good. I think okay, yeah, so it was Day of the Imperial Council and then Miscalculation, which I assume is referring to Ashalad miscalculating, or thinking that he's got himself into a bind. But I think the standout thing about this episode was the sound design and the use or choice not to use music. Because as far as I remember, I might be wrong. Yeah, throughout all of these, yeah, 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 yep. Okay, we get bits of music here. This somber, sad theme, but mostly silence. Mostly silence. Bits and pieces back here in the background, but it's not until this conversation with Leaf, when he starts telling him about the ice flows, that we do anything but let the voice actors shine. There are little bits and pieces of thematic music that set tone, but mostly it's silence until this. Until this swelling theme, as Leaf extols the virtues of persistence, perseverance through hardship. What a fucking scene. Oh my god. And it works so well because of the absence of that music in the previous parts of the episode. It's tense. It's full of whispers and hushed voices. This idea of the scheming, plotting masses, and this melancholy, this sort of hungover. Everything's too bright, everything's too loud for Thorfinn as he hobbles around town. Still a super competent fighter, but with no drive toward anything, just an apathetic existence. And he continues to try and grasp out toward this dream of revenge because it's all he has, right? We talked about that at the beginning, but it's even when it's not there, and it's not, it's gone, it's way out of his reach now. He sees the slaves, and they almost look at him with pity. How far I've fallen. But he can't even register that, he can't even compute that at this point. Wow. And then this moment. I love this triple take. Cut, cut, cut. In three separately drawn frames, each with more detail, just demonstrating horror on Ashalad's face. Like, oh shit. Oh shit. Wait. Uh-oh. This isn't what I wanted. But this is the standout sequence for me. The expressiveness on Leif Erikson's face, especially in this scene where we've got this full frame profile close up of him. There is so much little intricate detail in the way that he emotes, the way that he holds something back and tries to figure out how to say it, the way that he turns this into like a frantic, desperate plea toward Thorfinn, and then this hard, forced smile. There is so much in this sequence. It's desperation to try to show him that there is a way forward, that even in the stormiest seas, persevere, persevere, fight back. The world is always fighting against you. It's always hard. Suffering is inevitable. We keep going, because if we don't, we die. If we don't, we lose. We don't just lose a battle or a fight. We lose everything. We lose ourselves. Persevere. Fight. This is for me. This is my responsibility to Tors. And then, even after all of that, it's the myth. It's the dream. It's the dream that he actually gets him to sit up and listen to. We'll see. We'll see. Some of the Ashalad sequences are fantastic. This scene in particular, where it consists almost entirely of these super close-ups of his eyeline, his brow, looking around, scheming, looking for any escape, looking for any avenue of attack, anything he can do. There was a lot of I feel like there's a different episode director on this episode, because there was a lot of super close up stuff, a lot of focus on little things and small expressions and little emotive bits, and the sunlight, the rays of warmth coming in as he talks about Vinland, almost as though he is the embodiment of this ideal and speaking it toward Thorfinn. It's so nice. He knows he's got him. He's got a little hook. Man, and some of the backgrounds throughout this episode were so good. I think the very first scene we see is easy favorite. Just like full stop. This is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's so pretty. It's not even that detailed or that crazy. It's just super beautiful. The sun peeking out from behind the clouds, a ray of hope almost. Oh, it's so good. Oh, this episode was so good. And man, one thing that I didn't expect was that there for to be was for there to be like bits of humor blended in, and I think that is Thorkel's greatest strength as a character, besides cutting people in half with twin great axes because fuck you. Uh, uh, he is a solid, goofy comic relief in a very serious form. Like he's terrifying and huge, but every time he shows up on screen, gets a little bit of a chuckle out of me. He's so straightforward and blunt and goofy, while also being rather perceptive and a little bit in tune with the people around him. Like he's not a dumb guy, but he sort of plays the dumb oaf because it's a little bit easier. Ah, I love him as a character. I love him as a character. I do think I don't know. Ashlat is so wonderfully layered, but he's also on a major unlucky streak, and he is, I think, falling apart. I think that we're closing in on some kind of bad juju for Ashalad, and with him sort of acting like a cornered rat in this episode, I don't expect him to go that far for very long. I think there are people gunning for him, and I don't know if he can escape this time. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Man, this is a good episode. It makes me really hope for a second season or a second two core run. I don't know how much more of the manga there is. I assume there's quite a bit more because this feels like we're barely breaching the surface of this story, which is insane to say because of how much we've covered. But man, this was a really good episode. Okay, I gotta wrap. I gotta wrap. This was a great episode. The use of music or lack of use of music for the first half, leading into that swelling theme during Leaf's speech, his monologue, was artful. That was good shit right there. And this tension that's brewing under the surface between Spain's faction and Ashalat's faction is fantastic, and I can't wait to see it come to some kind of fruition. Uh should be pretty interesting. How are we gonna wrap in like one episode? No clue. How are we gonna have a satisfying ending? No clue. I don't think we are. I think we're gonna be hoping forever for a second run. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. In any case, I'm gonna wrap. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Vinland Saga episode 23. I loved this episode. I loved it a lot. I loved last episode too, but for entirely different reasons and in entirely different ways. This one was good. I do hope that the information about who episode directed this particular episode comes out because I'd like to know who that was. There were some bits and pieces here that were smart. That were smart. So yeah, that's the wrap. Me Teeaboo, this is Vinland Saga. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to catch you next week for episode 24. See you there. Peace.